Another big crowd at Shark Park this evening as the Broncos come out onto Shark Park, led by Alan Langer. An 0-3 start to 1999. Who'd have thought that? As we take a look at their starting lineup, a couple of changes. Coming off the bench is both Luke Priddis and Kevin Campion, and Philip Lee and Peter Ryan move back to the interchange bench. And the roar tells you the Sharks have arrived, and it heralds the 290th first-grade game for their captain, Andrew Eddinghausen. It breaks the first-grade record for most games with a single club, which was held jointly last week with Cliff Lyons, who had played 289 games for Manly Warringah, and there is the Cronulla Sharks starting lineup. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the best thing that the Sharks have done this season is their defence. Been absolutely outstanding. They've only had 18 points scored against them, and they've scored a massive 86 points. Look for Ferris and Healy really to drive the side around the paddock here tonight. The referee this evening is Paul Simpkins. He's about to blow time on. Another big crowd on Saturday night at Cronulla. Brisbane, in their predominantly white strip, will run towards the northern end, or the Botany Bay end, if you like, of Shark Park. And it comes down to Nathan Long to bring it out for the first time, and he's met by a wall of Broncos. Dean Treaster in the headgear this evening. They take it to the right-hand side, straight up. Sean Ryan has it. A little bit of a help from Andrew Eddinghausen. He takes it towards the 28-metre mark. Martin Lang, he comes up and is met by Andrew G, who is going to get called out.
No, it's flipped up, mate, but you still got him here, all right? You want him down.
It's one thing you can't do in the first set of sixes, give away a penalty like that. Martin Lang, some assistance there from the trainer, taking the ball up strongly as he does all the time. And G just sliding up off the shoulder and going into the face of Martin Lang. You can see he actually pulls out of the tackle, so he knew he was wrong. Some running repairs there. You just can't do that against the Sharkies, who are willing to throw the ball around the first couple of tackles.
So here they are on the attack early on. Stevens, who had such a good game last week against South Sydney here, scored a try to wrap up a great Sharks win, which took them to 3 wins and no losses. Long will play it. Treaster waits a dummy half. Healy at first receiver, gives it off to Nick Graham, who has found a home here in the Sharks pack, and they'll take it back for a forward pass. So a wasted chance early on for Cronulla. It will be a Brisbane loosened feed.
Yeah, Mitch Healy, he turned his back then to try and pass the ball to the right-hand side. If he just kept on going forward, he would have been all right. And would have had a great attacking opportunity against the Bronx.
Brad Thorne standing out of the scrum there.
All the way back, 12.
Tackled 35 out from their own line. Sailor, quick on his feet as ever, takes it to the halfway line.
Hold.
Priddis, a dummy half. A late change by Wayne Bennett.
Work blindside.
With Philip Lee moving back to the interchange bench. Here's G. Already cautioned for a high shot on Martin Lang, and he'll play it. 38 out from the Cronulla line as Langer now chips in, trying to get it in behind Peachy, who was beautifully positioned and took it. About 15 out now from their own line. Slow play the ball. Rogers getting into dummy half. Has been in outrageous form to start this season. Got a couple of great tries last week against the Rabbitohs. Stevens, who broke the first tackle. He's been in great form, as we said. Treaster gives it off to Long. Plenty of metres here as he flicks the ball back as it comes to Jason Stevens. Pens away from Andrew G. Got a great ball away through Ferris. Eddinghausen away to Rogers. Down the right-hand side, he ticks for himself. It bounces up for Hancock and will now get driven back into the in-goal area. Talk about teams playing with and without confidence. That was graphic right there.
Well, that's what happens when you come down here to Shark Park. You've got to be ready to pull the boots on and have a game of footy. Great there ball by Eddinghausen. Rogers summed up the situation, knew that there was going to be plenty of pressure coming across. Hancock, I thought, did a magnificent job in getting back for the ball, but just too much power in the tackle and going backwards there. Great result for the Sharkies.
Lockyer with a dropout. Healy feeds it off to Lang, who bobbled it. Cost him some momentum before he was taken to ground by Priddis. Long again with another early hit up, as has been the pattern in the first couple of minutes here at Shark Park. Healy, a switch back to the left-hand side. Graham fires a long pass out to Richardson. Oh, well tackled by Carroll, who drove him towards that eastern touchline. Healy now, or rather Ferris it was, through Graham and now Stevens. Another flop back ball picked up by Peachy. A couple of tackles left for the Sharks. On the attack, Graham again heavily involved. Eddinghausen trying to step inside Walters, who leaped at him. On the last tackle, Graham fires it to Healy. A crossfield bomb, waiting for it. Howland is out there, taken by Saylor. In goal on the full. It should be a start from the 20. No, in fact, it is going to be a goal line dropout. You hear Paul Simpkins say that Saylor was in the field of play when he left the ground. It ended up in the in-goal, Glenn, but of course that forces a goal line dropout.
Yeah, look, it's nearly 5 minutes gone in the game. Already some really good, positive signs for the Broncos, I think. The fact that Mick Hancock got back there to retrieve that little chip kick, the fact that Wendell's jumping up for the ball, and they're a lot more physical in their defence. So if they can keep this up and wear the enthusiasm out of Cronulla, we should see a really good ball game.
Long plays it back to Treesta. Comes through Healy to Lang. Inside the Brisbane 20, had plenty of pressure in this first 5 minutes. No points as yet at Shark Park, though. Ferris, good ball to Graham. Again, Carroll does the tackling on that far side, and Howland is wrapped up.
I think Glenn was saying that the defence of Broncos really has held up so far. They've had something like 18 tackles in a row against them, as Big Stevens goes forward for them, but they are holding their line tremendous.
2 more tackles to withstand here. Ferris gives it off to Healy as they switch roles. Oh, Walters up high, and the Shark Park crowd appeal for a penalty. Simpkins doesn't give them one, though, as it comes to Ferris. Across field he goes again. Richardson with his back to the line. Flicks it back for Peachy. He batted it down for him, and the fullback will score.
Well, that's what happens when you don't go up for the ball. The Brisbane Broncos side not having much luck. They had enormous pressure on them in the defensive area. But again, Wendell Saylor was put in a position where he didn't get much help from any of his teammates. You can see the Merrill sucking the big ones in, but look, no pressure on the kicker. Wendell Saylor's right back there all by himself. They try to, Tony Carroll tries to hold the player out, but watch him jump up above, and there's no one looking to where the ball's going to be. And it's an easy 5 or 6 metres to the try line. And Mr. David Peachy is a very happy man.
Here's Rogers from right in front. No mistake with that one. And Cronulla will play from in front, Brett Kenny. 6 points to 0 over the Broncos.
Well, it certainly has been a great start by the Sharks. And look, this has been a rehearsed move. You can see the players getting in position. Andrew Eddinghausen, I think it was there. They were prepared to knock it back. Peachy was standing there waiting for the ball. And they've gone across for a great try. It's been, as I said, it's a great start for the Cronulla side.
Lockyer with the restart. As it comes to the try scorer, Peachy, and gives it off to Long as he charges at them. Treesta through Healy, and now Ferris spreading it wide as they did on their very first possession. Ryan is tackled. Ferris gives it away to Stevens. He bobbled it. Got it again. They can do no wrong at the moment. They almost make mistakes, but they don't quite.
Well, and here the referee's saying he called him 3 times to let the player that was tackled go.
Well,
I think when the players turned around, Glenn, he's actually dropped the ball just clean. You just watch this.
I think Gordon's been very harshly done by here. His arm's caught in there, and he has got no other option to pull his arm out. Look,
mate, he's dropped the ball himself. I back you up 100%. What the referee was saying, though, he asked him 3 times to let him go, and the ball then is not actually pulled out. It's absolutely just lost clean.
Well, that's a perfect example as to why that rule should be scrapped from the game.
Here come the Sharks again. A hip tackle there from Alan Langer on Russell Richardson. Peachy is wrapped up. Just 28 metres out from the Brisbane line. Looking for more points early on. Healy turns it back inside for Lang. It was Webke around the legs. To the left-hand side, Treaster runs to the line. Oh, great ball back on the inside. Peachy, he was looking to link up with Richardson. A desperate tackle made by Saylor. 15 out. Ferris away to Healy again, playing in the 5/8 role. Ettinghausen turns it back for Ryan. One more chance for them on this set of 6. To the short blind they go. Ferris grubbering for the in goal. Lockyer did marvellously well. I'll tell you what, Ryan got across and made an important tackle because Lockyer was going to be away for the cash.
Oh, great work, Lockyer. And as you said, they are playing with a lot more confidence, the Brisbane side, as Michael Hancock stands up in the tackle. 3 Cronulla Sharkies come in to put him on the deck as now Webke goes forward for them.
Webke being forced backwards again with some great defence. Here's the play by Lockyer. He hesitated for a moment and it cost him plenty of metres. He had a look, came back to the outside. If Ryan hadn't picked him up, there was nobody at home. Here they go now. Storming downfield, the Broncos. They get it to within 40 metres.
And that's exactly why he's been put in this side, to add a bit more variety around the rucks. All he needed was one support player and they're under the sticks.
Oh!
It was a great run by Pritis. There's plenty of pressure there for Brett Howland, who feels it just in the field of play. Oh, Rogers has made a mistake as Peachy threw a long pass. It comes up to Pritis. So the Broncos can hit back here. Just 4 metres out. Saylor tries to push his way over himself. Almost got across the line as well, but will be asked to play it. Pritis to dummy half. A slow play the ball. The crowd here appealing for a knock-on, but Simpkins was right on top of it. To Langer it comes. Walters. Lockyer has De Vere outside him. He had Hancock in support. Oh, great pass from De Vere. Hancock back in the team and scores and gets them back within 2 points. What a pass from De Vere.
Well, they've gone virtually 100 metres of the football paddock, haven't they, in a set of 6. And that is a tremendous try for the Brisbane Broncos.
An uncharacteristic mistake from the Cronulla Sharks, but full credit to the Broncos to capitalise on it. They're back in the game, and I dare say they're feeling pretty good about what's happening out there on the footy field at the moment.
Yeah, well, they've had plenty of pressure down the other end of the paddock, but they do know how to score tries. And they have struggled in the last 2 games, but here today they went nice and wide, and they just found little holes on the outside of things. That's where the Cronulla fans were calling for the knock-on, but I thought it could have easily been a penalty. It was a good ball by G, and Langer knew he had to give it straight away. But look at Lockyer, run to the edges of the ruck, and he drags in 2. Ettinghausen goes nice and low, which allows that ball to be passed back inside. That's really nearly made a meal of it, Hancock, but he did get it down in time. As now Lockyer
from wide out. He drilled that as well. And we are tied up at 6 apiece. Back at the halfway line, Rogers, who made the mistake in his own in goal, gets us back underway and almost kicks it over the dead ball line on the full.
That's one, stand up.
Saylor will play it. 12 out from his own line. What a start to this game. The pace has been frenetic. To the left-hand side, Tallis, met by Lang. Bounces away from his tackle. Before Healy it is who wrapped him up around the legs. Pritis gives it away to G. Oh, good tackle down low that time by Stevens. Brad Thorne. It's up towards the halfway line. Good roll on this set of 6 by the Brisbane forwards. Walters with the clearing kick. Beachy was playing very shallow to the defensive line, and Rogers will go all the way back to his own in goal. It comes to Hancock. He runs around the try scorer before he tries to drag him into touch.
Well, a kick is only as good as you chase, and that, on that particular kick, it was a very good chase, and that obviously shows how enthusiastic the Broncos are.
Allen from the far side. 3 tackles gone. Still just outside their own 10-metre line, the Sharks. Lang. Met very quickly by Sivanasiva and G. Andrew Pearce, the Shark who went to Adelaide, is back in familiar territory. Clearing kick, a spiral punt, which Lockyer will take nicely inside his own 20. And speaking of good chasers, there's one from the Sharks.
That's the man who always chases for the Cronulla side, isn't it? Man, E.T. He's down there very quick. He's got a bit of pace about him. Interesting thing about the Broncos, well, they'd failed to score a point in the second half of their last matches. They've only scored 32 points against 90. Very unusual. That's usually in reverse.
Of course, defeated 2 weeks ago by Cronulla at ANZ Stadium, 14 points to 6. A game where, as the scoreline would suggest, there wasn't a whole lot in it. Tallis now struggling forward. Still they can't get him to ground. How strong is the second row? Pritis gives it away to Langer on the last. Grubbering or chipping rather for the in goal. It sits up for Rogers. Oh, he just concedes the tackle a metre out from his own line. Peachy runs to them quickly. Oh, almost got away from Sivanasiva. A dynamic player from the back for the blue and whites.
One thing I've noticed with the Cronulla side now, they've actually stopped throwing the ball wide. That was really upsetting the Brisbane side because they were a bit short.
They go to the left-hand side through Graham and then Ferris. Beautiful tackle around the legs by Langer. Tim Madison also off the bench. John Lang going to his reserves. Early on, as is the practice these days, and a great kick coming up. That will find the line 15 metres out from the Broncos try line. And apart from that one mistake made between Peachy and Rogers, Cronulla have hardly dropped the ball and hardly missed a tackle.
Yeah, it's a good game of footy, isn't it, when both sides are not making any mistakes and going forward and getting their kicks in, because it is tit for tat here. Each side going 90 metres at a shot with the ball.
Philip Lee on the sideline, obviously about to be called into the action. Luke Pritis has had a very impressive 16 minutes or so here. Langer at the scrum base.
Go on first.
So we'll have to see Pritis stay on a little bit longer. I thought he was doing a very good job around that ruck area, Glenn, getting good passes away and a good dart out of dummy half before.
Yeah, I got a big rap on young Pritis. I feel as though given the opportunity, I think he'll fit right into this Broncos pack and has had a good game today.
Back up.
10 metres on their own side of halfway. Here is Philip Lee now on the field for Pritis. Fifth and last tackle. Lockyer driving low once again for the in goal. Their kicking game has been very good, and their chase once again, a wall of Broncos up there to meet Rogers. They'll trap him on his own 10-metre line. McKenna coming off the bench this week. Was in the side last week for the injured Russell Richardson. Richardson's return. McKenna returns to the bench as Graham takes it up just outside their own 20.
Hold it.
It comes through Healy and Ferris. Here's Richardson stepping inside Carroll. He has only Lockyer to beat. Gets around the fullback only just though, and Sivanasiva comes to wrap him up.
I thought Richardson had gone the wrong way. Now it's Cronulla now get another quick play of the ball.
Ferris gives it away to Healy. They're queued up to the right-hand side. McKenna turns it back on the inside for Rogers. Steps past Walters, gets it to Ettinghausen. Great pass to Ferris, who dropped it.
Oh, tremendous break once again. The Cronulla side, they know. They go wide. There's the drop ball. You probably won't see the kid do that all day in this match again. But on the far left-hand side, a tremendous break. When they go nice and wide, they turn the ball back inside. And this is what the best thing about the Cronulla side I've seen today. Backing up, guys running into holes. He was in a big one too. Young Ferris. You see him shaking his head. No, I should have caught that one. A little bit of feeling in the scrum there as G tries to get his head in there, Glenn.
Well, you don't usually see that too much these days, but every now and again the boys get a bit excited.
Carroll will play it, which is the Broncos 20. Lockyer turns it back inside for Saylor, who gave the ball some air for a moment before he grasped it again. Lee just going for a run himself down the blind side. Webke, strong charge as he gets it to within 5 metres of the halfway line. Sivanasiva across the halfway line.
Come on, work it to me.
Almost 19 minutes gone at Shark Park. 6 each, the Broncos and the Sharks. Lockyer. The kick, which Rogers will field. 5 metres out from his own line. Fires a long pass to Peachy. Once again, they've combined to cough the ball up.
Very uncharacteristic there. The Cronulla build their wins around mistake-free football, and I think the last 2 times now they've been down on their own try line, they've coughed up the ball. We saw the Broncos the last time capitalise with a 6-pointer. I wonder whether we'll see it again.
It says a lot about the confidence they're playing with when they're prepared to spread the ball on their own line in situations like that, but it's cost them 6 points already. It might cost them another 6.
The thing about it was, I mean, I don't find anything wrong with what they're trying to do, but it's just the length of the pass they're trying to throw. And that's putting the player under a lot of pressure.
Walters at the feed from Langer from the scrum base. Lockyer at dummy half. They work it to the left-hand side where Campion is driven backwards about 8 metres or so. From the Sharks line, here they go now through Langer. Away to Andrew G. Hancock in a dummy half. Went to the left-hand side, back to the right-hand side. Not much happening for them in the last 3 tackles. Langer turns it back for Walters. A great pass, almost to Webke. He was appealing that he was held off the ball before he was able to play at it.
Well, I think I might agree with him there too. He looked as though he was being held back before he even looked like getting the ball.
Here's Peachy now. The Sharks on the counter-attack.
This is the ball back inside. We'll see if he does get held up there, Glenn. Well, he has got a hand on him, but I think he probably could have held the ball at the same stage.
A penalty has come to Cronulla. And we'll see it again here. Allen it was, just going from dummy half, and Saylor was neither at marker or back the 10 metres.
Well, I might disagree with you, Warren. I thought that he'd marked up straight in front of the play of the ball because he was the man who originally made the tackle.
Perhaps Simpkins was ruling he left a little bit early then.
That was a good cover.
Nevertheless, Madison has it 6 metres on the Broncos side of halfway. The pass comes from Shannon Donato. Sitting the dummy half roll at the moment. Oh, Ettinghausen. How uncharacteristic is that?
Well, we've gone from having 20-odd minutes in this game with only having 1 mistake down one end of the field against Cronulla to having probably 4 or 5 of them now. And really, the boys are putting down some easy passes that should be held.
Langer. Wow, they've made a mistake in the scrum base. He didn't get it at the first attempt.
You can just see there the second rower's foot actually touched the ball as Alfie was going to pick it up to pass it.
Healy with Peachy now. A pass for Ettinghausen over the top of his head. Well, we've had 3 tackles and 3 drop balls. Neither side can hang on to it.
Yeah, you can see what the coaches will be saying. They just make it a little bit hard. As Brett Kenny was saying, the options are there are correct. You can see he's got plenty of yards to move, and he had to try and go on the outside of Carroll, but it's the passes not going into the breadbasket that are causing all the problems for both sides here tonight.
Saylor standing a couple off the scrum there as he takes it towards the halfway line for the Broncos. Sivanasiva charging at Lang and picked up 15 metres. Good fast play the ball as well. Walters stepping inside Madison before he was tackled. 35 out from the Sharks line. Lee goes to the blind side. Will take the tackle. Still a couple of chances left in this set of 6 for Brisbane. Langer from Campion. Gives it back to Ryan. And you hear Paul Simpkins say this is the last tackle. Langer will go to the air. Looking for the post. Coming through very quickly was De Vere. I doubt that he was onside. It was bobbled. And that's exactly what Simpkins is going to rule.
Good call there, Warren. He was offside easily. Alfie, of course, wasn't going to the line. You see him here on the left-hand side of your screen. Oh. I thought he was easily offside, but that shot
that easily.
Well, I was just going to say, take that. I might take that back. You need another angle really to see if he was offside.
By about a metre.
I wonder whether he got a call from the
touchy.
From the touchy.
I was just about to say that touch judge decision, I think.
I'm still waiting for Alan Lang.
Mountain of a man too, but.
Madison takes it up as we take a look again at the kick. There is Langer with the veer to his left-hand side, of course, in the 3 jumper, and I think, well, by about a body length maybe with the lead. He was breasting the tape across the...
You're grasping at straws. He was onside.
I think he was too. I'll have to take that back.
Here's Long across the halfway line. Donato waiting at dummy half. Gives it away to Graham. Held up in the tackle.
Shall we go, Miggy?
Donato gives it off to Stevens, who bounces away from the Tallis tackle. Got it back to Donato through Healy, now on the toe from Ettinghausen. Play on it should be. And now Simpkins is going to allow play to go on until, well, Richardson in the end was bundled over the touchline. But after looking so good early on, the Sharks just can't get the passes to stick.
It's a tad windy. I'll give them that, but geez, they're dropping a lot of ball. That unfortunately, ET playing his 290th, I think, first grade game tonight. It's having a bit of a hard time of it, so he'll be looking to improve a bit, I'm sure.
I think ET might have been better off just going down on that ball at the same time. Put plenty of pressure on Richardson. He got taken out over the sideline that created the scrum.
Langer, the 7 receiver. Long was up to stop him getting across the advantage line. Lee to Langer, charging to the right-hand side. They were. Lockyer was outside Walters, who came back to the left-hand side. Tallis still recovering, I'm sure, from that charge from Jason Stevens. Ryan on the 5th tackle. Still deadlocked at Shark Park, 6 each between the Broncos and Cronulla. Rogers plays at it, keeps it in play. Didn't need to, but good to see the winger attacking the ball. Ettinghausen across the 20-metre line. Chased.
Tell you what, if you got that pass away there was some danger for the Brisbane side because Peachy was flying on the outside. The 7 receiver might have got a fraction eye, but good refereeing to play on.
Lang, the intended victim, if you like, once again there, as he quite often is. Donato will play it. It comes back to Stevens. Healy at first receiver. Chipping for the touchline. Lockyer bringing it out. We've already seen Rogers and Ettinghausen combine tonight to drive Hancock back into the in-goal area.
Play
the ball.
Notice here tonight with the Cronulla side, they always kick down their right-hand side with the ET and Rogers chase all the time. Leaving Wendell alone.
De Vere who's set up that try. Langer gives it off to Ryan. Some space here for the Broncos. Carroll, oh, great tackle. Russell Richardson it was who grabbed him around the legs. Langer, they work it on the short side. Lockyer gives it back to Langer. Saylor dropped it. And neither side for the moment can get in the opposing team's 20-metre zone. The Sharks might get a chance now, though. If we take a look at this knock-on again.
Unusual, really, to see this because I thought Alfie might have taken them on. He turns the ball back inside, which is the right thing to do. He drops the ball off to Wendell Saylor. This is just a great tackle, Glenn Ladders. It's something that you'd probably pull off.
Oh, yes, do it all the time. But just all the little kiddies watching, that is copybook style. The head behind, not in front of the legs. We see that often enough where guys get knocked out because they put their head in the wrong place. But copybook tackle there.
John Lang on the sideline there.
Unusual. It's an unusual thing. I mean, you don't see that anywhere where the coach actually gets down on sideline. He looks as though he does it a bit tough or something. I'm not sure.
He usually leaves it until the last 10 minutes of the game, but here he is. He realises perhaps this last 10 minutes of the first half is important. Howland, that's how important it is. He will run across the line and score. They worked it down the short side. He got a great pass and didn't waste the chance to put them back in front.
Well, they look all coming. The Broncos on the attack down in their own half. A simple knock on. 3 or 4 plays later, 6 points.
Yeah, it's great work down that blind side. Graham is the man. What about Ryan? Takes out Alfie, takes out Carroll, and left Wendell Sailor by himself. Tremendous work there by Howland. Tremendous work to go there and score that try.
Rogers from 20 out and about 17 in from the eastern touchline. Hits it beautifully. And they're back out by 6.
Yeah, it was a great run by Ryan. I did miss out the young kid, Donito. He's done a tremendous job in coming around and playing that 2-on-1 against Wendell Sailor. He's pretty happy. And so are the Sharky fans. Just listen to that.
What a time they're having in the first 4 rounds, this Cronulla backline. Tries of plenty last week, 3 in each half against South Sydney. Howland picked up a double, as did Rogers. Howland on the board tonight with another 4-pointer. Peachy, of course, scoring the first one. Lang taking it to the line again. His nemesis in this first half an hour of football has been Andrew G, who made the tackle once again. Stevens bouncing away from Tallis. That's been a battle within itself. Long. They just keep coming at them.
Just look how quick their play the ball is now with Ryan going for it. The Brisbane Broncos side haven't even got time to get back 10 metres.
Healy trying to finish off a great set of 6 with the perfect kick, and it was just about that. Oh, Rogers again will drag Lockyer into the end goal. They've perfected it. The second time we've seen it.
Well, Lockyer thought the ball was actually going to keep on bouncing and bounce out. He was going to get a 25-metre tap, and it wasn't to happen here tonight. Once again, the great chase by Eddinghausen and Rogers. Lined them up. He tried to go down nice and low, but look at Rogers. Got in there, they picked him up. Boom. There you go. Give us a drop kick out.
Just thought Darren Lockyer could have been a little bit more urgent to the ball. I just felt he took it a little bit easy and paid the ultimate penalty.
I'm sure off the boot he thought the ball was going to roll either into touch or touch in goal, but it did a little bit of a warning leg break and stayed in the in goal, and he had to play at it. Pearce towards the 20-metre line. Healy at first receiver. Gives it away to Ferris. Ryan off his hip. Met by Walters and Tallis, with Ryan coming in to help. Donato waiting at the 10-metre line. Ferris now as he and Healy swap roles. McKenna. A basketball pass. Punched on. Sailor almost got it. It came to Richardson. Howland knocked it on. There was a chance for them. There was cover coming for Brisbane, but there was a chance.
Yeah, he took the gamble, Wendell Sailor, and didn't come off and nearly cost him a try, but luckily for the Broncos, they've dropped the ball.
I'll tell you what, Wendell Sailor, I thought he had the ball. Howland thought he had the ball. That's why the kid turned around and wasn't too sure he had to do the old quick step back in the middle. Otherwise, I think there could have been a try down this end of the field to the Sharks.
It's an interesting play. They used Brad Thorne in the 5'8" position when they have a scrum down in their own half.
Yeah, a lot of clubs are doing that, and I can't understand it when you're... I know I can understand down the 25, but also down in the attacking zone, the second rowers are getting out and taking the ball forward. I'd like to see the more attack, Glenn.
You'll have to watch yourself, Razzo. They might start sticking you out there.
Oh, I don't think so.
Only 10 minutes out.
We're not into losing, Graham. But I see Mick Hancock's very popular here at Shark Park. He gets a rousing applause every time he touches the ball.
He was getting monstered by Andrew Eddinghausen, and one of his Shark teammates went on a little bit too vigorously with the tackle in the end. Well, Long was about to pounce, but Simpkins blew it up before he got the chance, and here are the Broncos. 25 out, all juggled by Webke. Great effort to hang on to it. Lee gives it off to Langer. Fan to the right-hand side through Walters, and here's Thorne. Charging at them wide out. Good tackle by Richardson. Carroll to Walters. Good pass to Langer. Steps off the left foot. It comes back now through Lee to Lockyer. And Eddinghausen up quickly once again. Don't they love him here at Cronulla?
Oh, great reading by E.T. to cut that move right down. Oh, and another good tackle, and the Sharks go on the attack once again.
Eddinghausen forced the ball loose. They're almost giving him a standing ovation every time he comes into the play at the moment.
You see the possession there, 54% to the Cronulla side. And Brisbane, that's why they're struggling, and in their own half, well, that is why the Brisbane side is struggling. They can't get out.
Pearce. Tackled down low by Tallis. And Webke over the top. Here's Farah. Oh, rather treacherous it was, leaping there. Madison, well. Just had a quick look. He knows all about it as well. Talk about berating yourself.
Oh, we don't have to tell him he's done the wrong thing. He knows it. He was actually looking at, I think, Gordon Tallis maybe, or looking at where the hole was inside Gordon to try and run there. He's still shaking his head. He knows now he's got to defend for a set of 6 to stop the Bronx.
Here's Thorne once again standing out of the scrum, wrapped up by a trio of Sharks, including Graham, who was quick to break from the scrum base. And Carroll running at them hard. He was taken by Ryan. Lee, nowhere for him down the blind side to go. Richardson it was. Picked him up and drove him towards the touchline. Saylor away to Langer and Sivanasiva. Go past Madison. 2 tackles left in this set of 6. And now they'll get a fresh set. Lockyer will be handed the ball, and Langer asks him to kick us 2 points if you can.
This is the play of the ball here. The penalty's given away. And the hands all over the ball, and the referees have been told that anyone has their hand on the ball, it automatically is going to bring a penalty.
Lockyer.
Well, there it is.
It's at low and hard and gets them back within 4 points.
Wayne Bennett breathing a sigh of relief. You can see there exhaling. Just glad that he probably got the 2 points and knows that he does need a big win here today. The scoreline now at 12-8 to the Cronulla Sharks.
I think a 1 point win would be enough at this stage.
Mate, any win he'd be very happy with, like any coach out there in the rugby league circles.
Certainly relieve a little bit of pressure.
Brisbane's longest losing streak, Glenn, came in 1989 when they lost 5 in a row, and it was also obviously the last time they lost 4 in a row. So if they were defeated here tonight, it would be a couple of bookends at either end of the decade they wouldn't be all that happy about. Saylor takes it back to the 20-metre line.
All Glenn can say really is that he wasn't involved in any of those years.
Sivanasiva spinning in the tackle. A couple of minutes left in this first half. Plenty of time for either side to either close the gap in the case of the Broncos or extend it as far as the locals are concerned. Sivanasiva again. Almost up to the halfway line. Lee at dummy half. Langer switches it back to Lockyer. Oh, almost read nicely by Healy, who was up quickly. And well, the pressure came from Healy, and it didn't pay dividends at the first attempt, but it did force them to hurry their play, and they made the mistake anyway.
Well, this is the mistake. You can see Sivanasiva wasn't sure that he was going to receive that ball, because now the Cronulla side, once again, going to be in Brisbane's half straight away.
Surely the golden rule there is always expect the ball no matter what. It just appeared that he thought that, oh, I won't get the ball, and all of a sudden it got to him and he dropped the ball. Just always expect it, son.
Well, they expect him to try and hang on grimly here in this set of 6. Healy, a long-range field goal attempt. He sliced it, kicked it dead on the full, and that will be half-time. A mixed first 40 minutes at Shark Park. The locals like what they've seen so far. At the break, Cronulla 12 lead Brisbane 8. Matt Rogers will get us back underway for the second half. What has been a tightly contested battle so far between the Sharks and the Broncos. Cronulla with a 4-point lead starting this second half. They will defend the southern end of Shark Park. Brad Thorne, an early hit up for the big second rower. from Pritis, starting this second half as he did the first half. It then went to Andrew G, who will play it. Back to the hooker once again. Good run of 15 or so metres. His timing in those runs to this point of the game has been almost impeccable. Peachy, speaking of impeccable.
Well, it wasn't a wonderful kick by any means, but it's certainly that set of 6 was very encouraging for the Broncos. They got to the 50 in 4 tackles and got a kick away. It wasn't the best tackle, but a positive start to the second half.
Graham plays it. And Treaster once again donning the headgear. He started the game in the headgear and then dispensed with it the last 10 minutes or so of the first half. Here's Lang for another hit. Oh, met by Webke, who drove the shoulder in and crunched him.
And Lang, just as I keep saying every time I see the kid play, I like to see him get a little bit of a step into his game and actually confuse the opposition instead of running straight ahead as now Lockyer comes back. Let's look at the, I know he's hard, I know he's tough, but a little bit of a jink just might help you out. You should work on that at training.
He got up with a couple of words to say to Webke as well, almost as if, well, if that's your best, you better try again because that was no good. Here's Tallis. Speaking of the Broncos' best, he's been pretty good all night for them so far.
And was by far their best player last week, I thought.
Hancock dancing. Gets a pass away as they keep it alive through Langer. A long pass to Thorne out wide. Turns it back on the inside for Carroll. Well read by the Cronulla defence. It was Graham who came up with an important tackle. Langer. The options that are usually there for the Broncos disappeared on that occasion. Lockyer takes it to the line quickly. A well-weighted grubber. And Peachy makes no bones about it. He picks it up and just shovels it across the dead ball line.
Yeah, it's something you don't see every day, just conceding the fact that, hey, we'll concede the dropout, not a problem. It's a sign of confidence in their defence.
Oh, it's very good to watch, isn't it? Peachy just picks up, takes a little bit of a dive over the back there at the same time. But as you said, Brisbane, a better start to this second half. Good set of 6 to get them 100 metres and get the ball back for another 6 tackles against the Cronulla defence.
Healy with the dropout. It's it low and hard as Langer fields it and gives it back to Saylor. Standing, he offloads. The Broncos getting passes away in succession now. Thorne came all the way to Ryan before he grasped him. Comes from Pritis to Langer. Bobbled by Webke. The Sharks falling off tackles. Treaster missed one on that occasion. Pritis waits at dummy half. He gives it to Langer. Shows it one way, goes to Lockyer. Carroll, one-on-one against Richardson. Saylor saw a bit of space. Oh, I tell you what, he got very close to the line there. Paul Simpkins is going to ask the video referee to have a look at this. Noel Bissett is the video referee, and Langer comes up with white chalk all over his head.
Not a good look.
I'll tell you what, he has gone extremely close to scoring here.
First instance when we did see the
first reaction was he had scored, but
yeah,
we'll soon see. Maybe not.
I think he's just a fraction short.
Well, if that angle is any clue, I think you'd have to say he came up a little bit short.
Yeah, short and he's out.
No try.
Get some water out to Wendell. Quick, smart.
And it will be a scrum 10 metres out from the Sharks line. And they will have the feed. So a close run thing for them early in this second half, but they hang on. 4 minutes gone. No change to the halftime score. Howard. Try scorer in the first half, the flying left winger for the Sharks. Oh, Graham bumped off one tackle. It was Webke. He offloaded though, and Webke came again to try and wrap up Andrew Pearce. It was, and now here's Stevens. Let's take another look at the no try ruling by Noel Bisson, and I think that angle there, that freeze frame, shows pretty clearly that Sailor didn't quite make it to the line. Tree Star. The Sharks take it outside their 30 and they spread it to Healy. A spiralling torpedo punt over the head of Hancock. His kicking game has been A1 tonight, and he can smile about it.
He certainly was smiling about that kick. Tremendous effort, a lot of pressure coming from the Brisbane defensive line, coming up out of the line at their first receiver, Ferris, and then got the ball out to Healy, who was unmarked, ran a couple of metres and put the kick down. Lang will be saying, well, that's the sort of football we want to see, boys. We haven't travelled that well out of our 25. We'll just keep trying to turn this Brisbane side around.
And he's going to do it Craig Coleman style for this second half, spending it down there on the bench with his side. Somewhat anxiously, as he always is. Here's Thorne. Made some big meters tonight for the Broncos. It's been hard to pull down. He, in tandem with Tallis in the second row, have been something of a combination. Here's Sailor, still looking like the Brisbane version of Paleface Adios. Langer through Walters. It comes to Lockyer. Tallis plays it. Campion. Now we have a whistle from Paul Simpkins, and the crowd's protestations have been rewarded because the touch judge on the far side has said yes, the pass went forward, and well, Kevin Campion.
Well, I'd like to have another look at this. Oh yeah, he's right. Go and get me specs tomorrow.
The front row will let us in no doubt as to what he thought about the decision, as the Sharks get the scrum, which formed very quickly, and they have it now. As they come towards the halfway line, Long gets the pass from Ettinghausen. Oh, quick pass to Richardson. He wasn't ready for it.
It's one thing if the Cronulla Sharks want to go on and win this game. I know they head by 4 points. They've got to stop making the mistakes they are, and otherwise they're putting themselves under pressure. The amount of ball they'll give the Brisbane side, because they can come up with tries.
And that man can score them. Had a stellar season in 1997. Of course, that was the Super League year as far as the Sharks were concerned. He scored a bag of tries. Really burst onto the scene. DeVere set up the Broncos try in the first half when he slipped a beautiful pass for Hancock.
I'm calling you, mate. Behind me. You're in front of me.
There we go, the quick tap.
Sailor. As we take a look at it again, the Sharks there a little bit eager in defence. Treaster, I think, the player called out by Simpkins, and in the meantime they've turned it over. Another mistake on the second tackle this time.
Yeah, Wendell Sailor is the man who's come up with it, and he just drops the ball cold there.
Richardson tries to push his way past Lockyer. Graham struggles in the tackle and gets the arms free. Offloading almost at will now on these tackles, the Sharks, the forwards. Treaster. Langer up quickly. Stevens surely threw it off the ground, and yes, you're right, Glenn, it had to be a penalty.
Well, Alfie Langer's the man who's come up with 2 tackles in a row that saved the Brisbane Broncos side once again. The tackle previous to that, he hadn't come out of the line, they were in all sorts of trouble. And then he scampered from the marker area to pull down Stevens, who then gave away the penalty of throwing the ball off the ground.
And they're the sort of things that lift the side, and I just get a feeling the Broncos might just go in for a meat pie here, Warren.
Great kick from Lockyer, has them in good position. G takes it towards the line, just 4 metres out. Philip Lee at dummy half. Langer gives it off to Webke, who takes it towards the post.
2. Let him go, hand out,
Look for the trademark Langer dart towards the line, and the ball back on the inside for a forward perhaps. Tallis gives it away to Campion. Tallis again from dummy half. Oh, they were never going to stop him. They opened it up, and he didn't waste the chance, and I'm sure he stormed over to tie this game up.
if the ball hit the ground.
I'm not confident. You tend to watch the players as they get up off the ground, and I don't know whether he was all like confident of putting the ball down. And if he hasn't, it's just wonderful work by... No, I don't think he has.
No, I don't think he has either. I think he knows himself. The Brisbane Broncos, so Glenn, as you've said, they're all just standing there waiting. It will be a screw. This is the angle that you'll be able to see if the ball has hit the ground. But Peachy, what an effort.
It's wonderful work. That wins football games, that sort of thing.
Bradbourne for the moment off the field, and the no try signal goes up from Noel Bissett, but it will be a scrum. The Broncos will have the loose and the feed. Tallis went past them like he was on the 3.96 to Cronulla, and it was amazing that Peachy could hold him up. Here they are again on the charge. Ooh, a fumble almost from Langer. Lockyer has it. The Sharks up quickly out wide. Lee is a dummy half. To Sivanasiva. McKenna came up quickly to stop him. 2 tackles gone as it comes from Lee. Walters shows it. Towards the post they work it. Langer is to the left. That's where they go. He picks it up nicely. The pass was a bad one. Here's Tallis again. Tackled by McKenna. Standing forever. He couldn't get the pass away, and a good thing for the Sharks. Lee, he'll have a go himself. I think he might have got there this time. We'll be off to the video referee. No, we won't. Shock of shock. Simpkins says that's a try, and it's 12-all here at Shark Park.
It's been coming for a while, hasn't it? This try here, Glenn Davis just picked it up. 2 sets of 6 back. They really found wanting around the ruck area. You'll see that no one moved up. McKinnon went to go the wrong way. Peachy was only there by himself. Did very, very good there, Lee, to get over the top and put the ball down on the ground. Amongst 3 defenders, McKenna, Ryan and Peachy. And gets them right back into the game, and this conversion should have them in front.
It's an important kick, this one. I think for the first time in the game, the Broncos will be in front too.
And there it is.
For a minute there, I thought he
puts them there. 14 points to 12. Brisbane in front of Cronulla, Brett Kenny.
Yes, this was just sheer weight of possession, and a very good run by Gordon Tallis helped set this up. He made half a break, got up very quickly, played the ball, and then we saw Lee was able to just dart over. Did very well to get his arms above the defenders and plant the ball down for a very good try.
The Broncos, it's been some time since they actually led a game of rugby league. Langer gives it off to Saylor. Just over 12 minutes gone in this second half. Webke.
Stand up, stand up.
The try scorer, Lee, a dummy half. He gives it off to Sivanasiva as they work it down the short side. Here's Webke again, charging at them. Well, G rather it was. Similar builds, but here's Lee. An arm free, gets it back to Tallis. What a second half he's having. What a first half he had. Langer kicks in behind the defence, looking for the in goal. Rogers will go back. We'll see if they can return the favour. Oh, he dances between them. Take a bow, Matt Rogers. That was, or rather, Brett Howland, I should say.
Brett Howland is the man, as you said, Warren. Tremendous work there by the young kid. Plenty of pressure on him. And now Rogers plays the ball and goes for Martin Lang. Rogers is the man. Howland is the man. Unbelievable stuff. Get out there, 3 or 4 players in there.
Well, is it Rogers or is it Howland? Right?
It's Howland.
Howland. Right.
No doubt about it.
Okay.
Nick Graham. He plays it. And the kick comes down to Saylor.
They're both that quick. They could have got there anyway.
They're interchangeable.
Well, what it was a lack of communication between the Bronco defenders. I mean, that sort of thing should never happen, but showed a clean pair of heels to get out of his in goal.
Tallis will play it. Comes to Webke. They're up very quickly to meet him as well. Treaster raced up out of the line. Hancock comes in to give them a hand. Good Sharks defence in this set of 6. Langer. Way to Lockyer. Has Carroll outside him. Oh, Richardson was caught awkwardly there in front of Carroll. And has come up a little bit dusty from that tackle. Lee. Both men outside him are offside, and as a consequence, there won't be much of a Brisbane chase here, but it doesn't matter because the ball goes dead, and they will restart it from the 20.
Something they do so well, isn't the Cronulla side? They chase the kicker, harass Alan Langer here tonight, and then you really take Alan Langer out of the next play because he never gets back in to make the tackle. As he makes one just now, there's no chance he was going to chase that kick by Lee.
Long met by Seven Receiver and thrown to the ground. 15 gone in this second half. Brisbane by 2 points over Cronulla. Graham swarmed on by the Broncos. They're on a mission at the moment. Ferris shows it. Got past Langer before Seven Receiver made a good tackle sliding across on the last tackle. Healy chipping. Eddinghausen flying. Got a foot to it. It will come down for Rogers. He picked it up cleanly. Rubbersby himself was held back slightly. Lockyer cleans up, and Simpkins will rule it will be a goal line dropout. It could well have been a penalty.
Great work by Healy, seeing that the Brisbane side, their winger, the left-hand side had dropped right back early. A little chip kick over the top, and E.T. was absolutely flying. I thought he nearly got taken out of play there. Little kick with the right foot. Then what about the work from Rogers once again? Put a little chip over. He was held back. This is E.T. here. Look at that. Gets the right foot out there. Kicks the ball forward. And Rogers, the winger that he has been here tonight and all throughout the first couple of rounds. Tremendous work.
Here come the Sharks. Lang brings it back. He went straight past Campion. The Brisbane forwards were handing it to Cronulla defensively in the last set. They'll be trying to do the same here again. Long. 30 metres out from the Brisbane line. Madison takes it to the right-hand side. Pushes lead. He had to backpedal for 5 metres. Graham at first receiver, the lock forward, gives it off to Ferris. He was well contained by Langer.
Yeah, that's a great defensive effort by Alfie once again.
Here's Lang. Late in this set of 6, just charging towards the line. This is the last. Treaster waiting for it. It comes to Healy, who bombs back to the left-hand side. Eddinghausen bouncing off players. It came off Cronulla hands, I think you'll find, either Eddinghausen's or Peachy. And Saylor who'll bring it out for the Broncos. Still with white chalk across that bald pate of his.
He might have to use that every week the way he's playing today. He's having a very good game, Wendell Saylor. Taking the ball up strongly. Now is Michael Hancock out of the dummy half area. His possession, you can see now, really turned around. Brisbane 54% against Cronulla's 46.
Prittis back at dummy half for the Broncos.
Well, that's very encouraging for the Broncos, made to defend their own line. They've just gone 100 metres with the football straight away, so that's very encouraging.
Rogers comes across the line. This time no pass between himself and Peachy, which brought them undone a couple of times in the first half. Here is Peachy. Comes to Howland. Saw Saylor and decided that he might run away from him for the moment. Head back infield. They come to the left again. Graham met by Langer and Peter Ryan.
Just been watching Alan Langer in the last 5 minutes. He's got really involved in this game. I think he's decided, hey, the Broncos might win this one.
Carroll was pushing Graham across the line before he got the pass back to Richardson. He comes to Lockyer. Saylor dragged him down from behind. Donato screaming for the ball at dummy half. Comes from Howland. Through Healy. A cutout ball. Ferris chipping for Eddinghausen. In behind Hancock. It was fumbled. Picked up by De Vere. Pressure for Brisbane, and they've weathered it.
Oh, unbelievable rugby league there from attack and defence with the Brisbane side wanting to get back and make sure that they're on side. Here's the bus. Once again, Graham, I think, is having a magnificent game. Popping the ball up. And this is it. What about that bust there? Wendell Sailor was looking the wrong way, and Richardson has just gone straight through him, but lucky Sailor come back at him to save the day for Brisbane.
I think you'll find he got a head knock and was a bit dazed. Came to in a hurry when he saw Richardson running up the sideline.
In a hurry, in a heartbeat. He was off like a shot. And here they are now kicking down to the Cronulla 20, where Peachy will field it and get a head of steam back up too as he lopes towards them. Gives it off to Rogers. Oh, Priddis fell over at the line, and Rogers will pick up another 15 as a consequence. Back and forth from one end to the other it is at the moment. Long takes it towards Peter Ryan, trying to get off one of those trademark shots of his. Andrew Pearce gets a pass back to Healy. Here comes to Peter Ryan, who tackles him. 23 out. Oh, Rogers in a bad way, being helped off the field. That looks anything but good. Ferris takes it to the line. 15 out. Still a couple of tackles to work with. No backline to speak of for the Sharks with Rogers off the field. Stevens was the widest man on the park on the open side. Ferris gives it off to Graham. They come back to the blind side. A ball back to Howland. He chips with nothing doing for them. Play on, says Simpkins. This is now the last tackle. Treaster. Across they spin it from Ferris to Healy. Grubbering. This will be too big. And Brisbane once again hang on. They were stretched and they are showing the signs. Rogers distressed back on the bench.
Unbelievable stuff there. The Cronulla side on the right-hand side, once Rogers was gone off, they had no one out there whatsoever. They're all around in a big bunch. It's now the medical team trying to do their best to Rogers to try and get him back onto the field.
Oh, you'd think a ligament strain of some sort for his left knee there. The physio is working on him, and well, he winced at the slightest movement.
Is that your analysis, Dr. Smith?
As the Broncos work it out from their own line up towards the halfway line. Here's the incident on Rogers.
Yeah, I don't like
again.
these things.
Ryan comes across. He just gets caught there. Langer, it was. Trying to drag him to ground, and well, the knee just sort of doubling back there on itself, and it didn't look all that graphic as far as those sort of things go generally, but Matthew Rogers certainly feeling the ill effects of it. McKenna will play it though for the Sharks. Here's Howland. Trying to work it away from their own 20. Still just 2 points in it.
Sorry, just going to say, Cronulla behind by 2 points. Matty Rogers is a very vital part of the Cronulla outfit, particularly at shots at goal, so he will be sorely missed.
The kicking duties could fall for Mitch Healy. Well,
nah.
They'll play the ball here, and now a penalty coming to Cronulla.
I mean, Bird touched on this earlier on. This is a part of the game that's a real grey area at the moment. I think we're going to have to look into it a little bit, because it's a fine line on whether the boy... Well, there you go. I think he's clearly just dropped that ball. And now he's got a penalty. Now they're on the attack for a simple error made by the guy that was holding the ball.
So who do you want to win this game?
Who do I want to win? I don't really care.
Here come the Sharks. They've got plenty to say about it still, as Pearce takes it up towards Andrew G. 23 out from the Brisbane line. Healy gives it off to Ferris. Eddinghausen was there. The cutout ball came to Richardson. Gets it to the Brisbane 10. Eddinghausen waits a dummy half. To Ferris at first receiver. Away to Graham, who's played very much the role of the pivot at times for the Sharks. Treaster at dummy half. Back to the left they come. Eddinghausen working, wrapping from the right-hand side. Got the arm free, flipped the ball out the back to Howland, who has to track back. Takes it to the 10-metre line. This will be the last tackle. Healy gives it to Ferris. Grubbering for the in-goal. Lockyer was there. Did nicely, but once again pushed back towards his own in-goal. With a little bit of help from Michael Hancock, he stays in the field of play.
It was very good work, though, by Stevens, wasn't it, to make the tackle on Lockyer. Well, 2 tackles previous to that, Alan Langer could be penalised for being offside, and the referee looked at him twice to make him go back on. When Eddinghausen come back across the field.
Webke takes it up. Good quick play the ball. Comes to Tallis. Steaming towards them. Walters switches it back to Lockyer. On the last tackle, they've been caught cold. The turnover will come. The Broncos didn't realise, I think, that was the last tackle. If they did, they were doing a very good job of trying to convince the referee it wasn't the last tackle.
I've got no doubt in the wide world Kevin Walters knew that was the last tackle. He's just stalling so his defensive line can get set.
The Sharks 15 metres out. It comes to Pearce off the left foot. Flung to the ground by Webke. Healy gives it away to Graham. Playing the 5'8" role on the right-hand side. Flick back from McKenna to Eddinghausen. Tackled by Tallis. 3 tackles gone for Cronulla. Healy gives it away to Stevens. The Brisbane line looks in now. Miracle ball out the back to Peachy. A metre short. Great tackle by Priddis and Ryan. Long. He'll score and put them back in front. The Sharks are coming here at Cronulla. They are going to get them. They're back in front.
Great work by the Cronulla side. They really had to hang on there with the ball in their hand. And this bloke here has had a wow of a game. Getting them in front now at 16-14 with a kick to come. But this pass here, what an absolute unbelievable ball there to Peachy from Stevens. The quick play of the ball. You can see out here, Long is there. He steps off his left foot, confuses everyone because everyone thought the ball was going to go out further. Chris Walker was the man. He stepped inside.
And speaking of Brett Kenny, what's the report, Brett, if you have one on Matt Rogers?
Well, Matt Rogers was on the sideline waiting to come on when the try was scored. So he walked straight out, grabbed the football and was ready to kick goals, and they've changed it and give it to Mitch Hurley. So I don't know what the story was there. I thought it was probably smart thinking on Cronulla's view, but apparently the linesman has told the referee that he's just come back on, so there must be some rule to say he can't have the shot for goal.
That is exactly right, Brett. If you're not on the field when the try is scored, you can't take the kick for goal, and hence Mitch Healy will be lining up this conversion from 20 in from the western touchline. We saw Rogers back out there. It's been some sort of recovery by the winger, Alan Langer. Here they are in a familiar position late in the game and behind on the scoreboard.
And
They're
really,
in front by 2.
Sorry, Warren, they really do only have themselves to blame, I must admit. They just make crucial errors up in their own half, and again, it's just sheer weight of possession is.
Healy puts them in front by 4. Cronulla 18, lead Brisbane 14. We have 12 minutes left at Shark Park.
Well, it'll be interesting. They'll see what sort of character the Broncos have got. They're behind with how long to go? About 12 and a bit minutes. I'm sure they can come back, but whether they believe they can or not is another thing.
If the pattern of play this weekend in the NRL is anything to go by, we'll have the comeback of all comebacks here to finish this game off. South did it to St George Illawarra this afternoon at the SCG, and of course your side, the Storm, did it last night to Canterbury at Olympic Park.
Well, the man who's just scored the try has made an easy 25 metres up the field to set his side back on track, as now his little mate beside him, and Lang goes forward.
Stevens. Tackled down low by Luke Priddis. As Priester comes to the open side. Graham. Really been involved tonight for the Sharks. He's found a home at the scrum of the base permanently in 1999, it would seem, and is really revelling in the role. Healy. A low punched kick this time, which Lockyer takes on the chest. Hit by another wall of blue and white jumpers. Eddinghausen, as always, leading the chase. Hancock comes to Sean Ryan. He's driven back towards the 20. And if anybody can work a penalty, there's no doubt Michael Hancock has mastered the art after a decade or more.
His nickname's Three Knees Hancock, and he bucks and kicks, but gets the results there. A very, very relieving penalty at a crucial period in this game. You'd swear he had 3 knees when he's bucking and kicking there, wouldn't you?
That's right. 3 or 4. Brad Thorne gets across the halfway line. 2 tackles gone in this set of 6. Prittis gives it off to Webke. Charges at Treester, the smallest of the Cronulla forwards, obviously. Picked his target on that occasion. Ryan, tackled by his namesake, Sean Ryan. Langer gives it off to Lockyer. Oh, short pass. It was a hard ball to take, and getting cleaned up for his trouble as well was that man, Kevin Campion. He was hitting it hard just off his hip, and the Sharks were well aware of what was going on. McKenna plays it. Here's Lang charging towards Seaver and Prittis.
Peter Ryan in some trouble in back play there.
Stevens.
The trainer calling for the ref to halt the game. Looks pretty serious.
It's in the back play for the moment. Simpkins lets play go on. There you see Peter Ryan. He also struggling. The tackle again where Peter Ryan injured himself, Gary.
Yeah, he just got his knee in the wrong position there. It's Cronulla forward taking the ball forward for them. The knee might be going to the doctor for the bit of surgery. Peter Ryan played pretty tough up the middle of the ruck.
Just inside, 9 minutes left at Shark Park.
Well,
a big kick, you would think, Glenn, in the scheme of things.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. It means the Broncos would have to score at least twice to win the football game. We must give a rap to the Cronulla doctor, getting the goal kicker there back on the field. It looked like it was the end of the night for him, but he's bounced back and just put Cronulla 6 points in front.
That magic sponge must be working a treat.
Yeah, the magic sponge back, eh?
Down on the Sharks bench. It's been some time since we saw it.
Yeah.
I heard that he had medial ligament damage before when he came off.
Yeah, I forget, who was that? Dr. Smith. Yeah, that's right.
That's my diagnosis.
You're sacked.
That's not that good either.
I don't think we'll be opening up the surgery together.
20 points to 14 at Shark Park. The Broncos trailing the Sharks as Madison takes it back towards the 20-metre line. That man staring down the barrel of a fourth consecutive defeat. No side since grand finals became compulsory in 1954 has lost the first 3 games of the season, let alone 4, and then got on to win the grand final. So the Broncos already looking at trying to create history if they're to win the premiership in 1999. Here's Lang on the Cronulla bench. Well, he's animated.
Very.
Enough animation there for both coaches.
We've got
Sailor.
the 2 extremes out here tonight, haven't we?
They need to score and score quickly. Congested play the ball area there as they finally work it out. It comes to Chris Walker.
Right.
Oh, and now Paul Simpkins just pulls up players. Russell Richardson was struggling in the back play. Things getting a little heated here between the forward packs. Richardson will hobble off. Walker will play it. Here's Tallis. One of the Broncos' best again tonight. Prittis will play it on the third. Goes to Andrew G. Webke, his front row partner outside him. 34 out from the Sharks line. Langer at first receiver. Gives it away to Campion. He's looking for the dump off from the front rower, but didn't get it. Langer will go to the air. One of the rare times they've used a bomb in this game. Peachy, not much pressure on the fullback, and he took it convincingly.
Yeah, that's a great take there. Rogers was the man who got back there to help him out. Peachy does come up with the ball. You see Rogers coming in from his right-hand side there. A little bit of a mistake there if Rogers got his hand on the ball. The big thing I noticed though here, Glenn, is that when the Brisbane side go forward, they don't seem to have much backup. Their second phase play is just not happening at all.
Yeah, they are very predictable when they're coming out of their own half. Easy pickings for the defenders, but I don't think that's their major problem at the moment.
Here's Peachy giving them a problem.
Oh, that's
Donato from dummy half. from the fast play the ball. Lang running like a winger himself.
Field goal attempt. No.
Healy grubbering. He had Rogers outside him. The kick was too big. Touch in goal. It will come back to the 20. And we've got just on 5.5 minutes left.
And we've just got an update on Peter Ryan. You were right about the medial ligament, but unfortunately the wrong player. Peter Ryan has got the medial problem, and it's just a strained medial ligament at the moment.
Well, one guy that will deserve a beer and a shower tonight is Martin Lang. 21 hit-ups for the game so far.
A couple of busy halves of football for the son of the coach. Saylor trying to spark something here late in the game. Pritis. 5 metres on Cronulla's side of halfway, just under the 5-minute mark. And they trail by 6, the Broncos. Walters takes it to the line. Tallis, a dummy half, has Langer to the right-hand side. Got a quick pass to Lockyer. Steamed onto it. Peachy made an important tackle because Lockyer was going to join up with some players to his left. They'll get the penalty now. No doubt as to what they'll do. Langer with the quick tap. Through G and Campion. He will settle it. 11 metres out in front of the post. Langer, a dummy half, gives it away to Sivanasiva. Lee waits at his feet. To Walters, turns it back for Tallis. Oh, long it was, or rather Madison raced up and stopped his progress. Langer, short pass for Lockyer. The timing wasn't there. The pass has gone forward. The Sharks have hung on this occasion.
Well, you've got to put that down to the great tackle of Madison on Tallis. Lockyer just fading away from the ball. If he'd hit the ball in the middle of the hole there, whoa, that could have been all sorts of trouble. Watch this tackle here. Oh, that was really good stuff.
Okay, take your spot.
Just a little bit of frustration being shown there by Gordy.
He's got a little bit.
The tight set of 6 was just all over the shop. There wasn't any cohesion there from the Broncos.
I think the Broncos are more dangerous when Alfie does run the ball.
Gordon Tallis really fired up in the scrum base there. He's overdone it. And Mitch Healy has given him a spray as well to let him know all about it. Blood coming from a cut to his right eye.
Well, Gordon Tallis just showing the frustrations of the last 4 weeks.
And he might be in trouble here. Let's listen to this.
Blood coming from the eye, mate. Blood bin.
Well, it wasn't the drama I thought might have been coming up for Gordon Tallis. The crowd are letting him know all about it as he leaves the field. The trainers are working on him to try and keep him on the field. Here's the tackle when Healy went from the scrum base. Tallis was screaming as he packed into the scrum, went on with it.
Mitch Healy just saying thank you very much, Gordon. We'll just take the easy 20 minutes and kick it out and start again.
And all of this, of course, has eaten up some precious time for the Broncos. Inside 3 minutes remaining. Donato will tap it for the Sharks. Here's Lang, takes it towards Thorne. Graham takes it to Sivanasiva. They tip him up. We've seen penalties given for players like that in recent times, and suspensions, in fact. That might not have been in the class of a couple we've seen recently, but it wasn't far off. Here's McKenna. Going to put a step on and bust the line. 2 tackles left for Cronulla. 10 metres into opposition territory. Donato from dummy half. Runs towards Lee and Campion. A good kick here. Might be just enough. They didn't get it. Healy rubbered it for the touchline. He will use up some seconds, but didn't gain many metres.
Well, I just think there, I think he was just quite happy to have it go over the sideline, waste more time in packing the scrum. It's just another one of those nights for the Broncos, I'm afraid.
Good crowd here tonight, 17,156. So they have turned out on force yet again at Shark Park to see their side go around, and they are just over 90 seconds away from remaining undefeated for 99. Walker. 28 metres out from his own line. They need some magic, a kick from Kevin Walters. We've seen this before at State of Origin level. De Vere is flying. If he gets the bounce, he picks it up. They just made 70 metres. Carroll screaming for the ball at dummy half. Fires the ball to Walker. There's no defence. I don't know if he got the ball down. They have held him up in goal. What a dramatic finish we have coming up. And it will be decided by the video referee.
This is absolutely amazing. This guy, who was it? I think it was Lang. He's come from the clouds, and I think he's held him over the line.
Sean
Ryan.
Walker trying to get the ball
down.
Didn't get it down from that angle. This view here obscured by the post. He dropped the ball, in fact, off the leg of Sean Ryan, I think it was. Either he or Matt Rogers.
Well, this will be interesting, Warren, because if he rules that it's a drop ball, well, Cronulla get the 20-metre tap, I think. But if it's held up, well, the Broncos get the feed and get the scrum.
I just wonder if Sean Ryan, in making that tackle, has come from an offside position to make it, and it could be a penalty try, because otherwise he wasn't back the 10 metres required. The only man there was this man here in Rogers. So legally, I think it should be a penalty try, because he wouldn't have been there.
In that instance, you're exactly right. It would be interesting to see that.
We all agree he hasn't got the ball down.
There's no doubt about that. It is not a try in the legal sense, with Walker placing the ball on the grass. The Broncos are confident it's going to be a scrum feed to them, so they will have the ball back, according to them, with 1 minute and 2 seconds left. Let's wait for the decision. Paul Simpkins.
Noel Bissett, the video referee, a local Canberra guy who reffed.
Walters is the man who puts the kick down. Tremendous chase there by De Vere. He's looking for the offside.
It's an amazing play.
Referee.
I must admit, I would never have picked them doing that, but it's nearly come up for them.
And just have a look. Well, I thought we were going to go a little bit further to see where Ryan actually came from.
Now, they're looking at this particular piece of
play. He's not
offside.
He's onside.
De Vere is onside by a mile, and the conjecture, as far as we're concerned here in the commentary box, is Sean Ryan coming from an offside position on the try line to hold up Chris Walker. And then Noel Bissett might have the choice of awarding a penalty try, perhaps, to the Brisbane Broncos.
Well, you can see Rogers back
here.
Here
is Sean Ryan was about 15 yards offside, probably 25, because he's not even close to being back to 10.
Never ever got. Well, he got to the try line though.
No, he's made the tackle. He's not in onside before the ball was played.
Warren, what Wes has said is exactly right, but I guess it comes down to whether the referee has asked that question. The referee may not have realised.
I think you'll find he has, Brett. No try and a penalty. So it's going to be a penalty for the offside.
Should it be a penalty try?
Should it be a penalty try? Paul Simpkins isn't going to rule that way, though, and they're going to get the tap. He blows time on. Langer gives it away to Walters. A dramatic finish here at Shark Park, and I'm sure we'll hear more about this if the Broncos don't tie this game up. It comes back now to Andrew G, who tries to burrow his way towards the post. Lee waiting at dummy half. Inside the final minute. Walters comes to the open side, tries to put the speed on, and he was held up. St George Illawarra did it to Canberra last week, and the Broncos snatch a draw here at the death against the Sharks. Campion almost got through them. Some desperate stuff by the Sharks. Carroll at dummy half. Graham was offside, surely. That's the way Simpkins rules. Brisbane will have more pressure coming up to place on the Cronulla side. 18 seconds left. Walters gives it away to Lockyer. Walker, a pass to Saylor, they score! Did he drop the ball on the line? He thinks he scored. Simpkins says, yes, you have. And Brisbane will have the chance to snatch a draw here at Shark Park after the siren will have expired.
Have a look at the crowd. They cannot believe that this try has been scored in the last probably 15 seconds of the game. They're all shaking their heads. The only thing they're hoping that doesn't happen now is he kicks the goal in Lockyer. So how much pressure now is on Lockyer to kick this goal to make it a draw?
Well, I would have to guess a lot. I mean, here we are, Darren Lockyer lining up a kick that would give the Broncos their first points of the season. I dare say and guess that he has got a lot of pressure on him at the moment.
That was the penalty which Nick Graham gave up, and then from the ensuing tap play afterwards, they spread it to the right-hand side. A nice pass from Walker over the top to Saylor, and of course there was no doubt in the end about the placing of the ball, and Darren Lockyer from 28.5 metres out. He is a long way back to try and give himself the best angle here, and he's barely a metre in from this western touchline.
It's on his best side of being a left-handed kicker, so
he can get the Brisbane Broncos their first premiership point in 1999 up against the PA speakers. He hits it. It is hooking. It is long and wide. And Cronulla have hung on to win in heart-stopping fashion here at Shark Park. 20 points to 18, the final scoreline. Could it be any more dramatic? They are loving it here at Shark Park. We hope you've enjoyed all the action. On behalf of Glenn Lazarus, Gary Freeman and Brett Kenny, I'm Warren Smith. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time around right here on the NRL.